James. But no, we're actually just 6 out of 6. Everybody thinks NRG is going to win this. No one impressed with what Endpoint did against Furia, despite the fact that Furia, they look really good. Was it just Furia making Endpoint look bad?
And that's really what we were talking about in the green room was, you know, seeing Furia play Endpoint made that loss by NRG yesterday look much more respectable.
Yeah.
We're starting to get an idea of how good Furia is.
And, you know, Furia with that earlier exit in the fall major than most of us were expecting, I kind of had everybody second-guessing them, and then they end up in a group that looks so difficult. We kind of forgot that actually they've got a chance not just to get out of this group, but to maybe even win it. Now they look like favorites to win it. NRG and Endpoint, the teams scrapping for second place. That could end up being huge, though, for NRG if Queso beat FaZe later on and NRG are able to win this. They're going to get that matchup that they've been thriving in all throughout the split.
Because looking at these matchups on paper prior to the games being played, you were thinking that this might be the matchup to determine that #1 spot. And now...
That's why we play it last.
And so like you said, NRG and Endpoint going to be fighting for that 2nd and 3rd seed. And this is all assuming Furia takes down Renegades with how well they've been playing. But so far, game 1, Endpoint in general, they are trading blows. And that was a nice pass across, but nobody there to finish that one off.
These two teams, of course, did play at the fall major in the Swiss stage. Endpoint were able to win it in 5, but it wasn't before NRG, I think, threw away some games and series winning opportunities late on in that series. So if they can get those same kind of chances against Endpoint, it's just up to NRG to take them this time. That's why they struggled against Endpoint the last time the two met. CeX with a great opportunity. Actually goes for a slow play on this. They're still going to remain in attack. Oh, what a pass! CeX slaps in a stunning pass from Metsonoris.
And you see Justin getting a small hit there, and I think Garrett confused by the fact that Metza and Relating Wave were both on the ball in that situation and completely lost sight of where CeX was.
Definitely. It's very hard to predict, and there's so many players facing the ball. Not only that, but they're facing different directions. So which way is the ball going to go? Which way is the play going to go? And then you've got to remember CeX is still in that corner. With that pass that good from Metza, CeX just has to hit the ball hard, and there's no way that a team can react to that. Endpoint actually starting off really well here in a match that everyone, Desk and ourselves, thought that they were going to be the second favorites in.
Twitch chat with 85% going with the general NRG. So a quick reminder that Endpoint still in this one. Strong start. Metza looking for a Relating Wave. A nice challenge from Metza. You see Justin trying to buy some time, losing it a bit, throwing CeX off. Squishy will come in and support. Now Garrett slow to the ball. Metza aiming for the backboard. Staying in the play. Garrett trying to stop the shot, but he can't, and Relating Wave will bounce in a second goal for Endpoint.
Relentless pressure from Endpoint. NRG are just trying to get a 50-50 to bounce to a safe location. It goes the one worst possible way, into the ceiling and into the middle, and a nice bounce shot from Relating Wave puts him up by 2.
And it all kind of started, I mean, you saw the play from Justin. He went airborne, was trying to get a flip reset on the ball, just trying to mess up the touch from CeX. We're seeing that NRG has not really been able to get in their rhythm. Meanwhile, a quick start, and we're seeing more pressure come out. Garrett tipping that. Metza to his own back corner. Pass off the backboard. And CeX will get to the sideline. Garrett lobbing it back in. Squishy blowing the play down. Justin, when you can see CeX, that one bouncing off. Endpoint in a tough position. Finally, Metza will get some breathing room.
Still time for NRG. They're getting more of a close look at that blue goal, but how are they going to get that goal to get back into the game remains to be seen. CeX out with a little bit of time on the ball. Forces a save from Justin into the crossbar. Endpoint have really done well in this sort of spot in this matchup so far. They're keeping NRG in this final third. They're not giving them good 50-50s. They're not giving them good clears. Lovely little delay on the challenge there by Relating Wave to bait the touch out from NRG. It's little things like that that have helped Endpoint keep NRG pinned back.
And keeping them pinned back through their vision as well, recognizing when NRG has no counterattacking power. You saw it on the play, Relating Wave and Metza both in the same spot, and CeX was on the other side of the offensive third, so didn't even feel the need to rotate back when you got this much pressure. Endpoint happy to melt this time off the clock. Less than a minute left to go. NRG still searching for their first goal, and then a pass in will get shut down by Relating Wave. And you can see CeX harassing Garrett G, and a demo in the backfield. Nice shot from CeX to top things off, and they are dominating in game one.
The passes in the final third from Endpoint. They're making this happen. Wow, CeX had some work to do there. That's a tough angle to squeeze between the post and the goalkeeper, who's coming at him quickly. He even moved towards the ball, making the shot even harder on himself. CeX showing up against NRG.
Saw the car completely vertical, hitting it with the underside of the car. That was not an easy shot. CeX, the delayed backflip, and it works! It works from CeX!
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the goalkeeper from NRG here. CeX just hangs onto that flip as long as possible. And Squishy, waiting for that bump to go by before jumping into position, just had way too much to do, as do NRG, down by 4 with 35 seconds left. What a statement game from Endpoint, who just came off a tough loss.
And that's exactly what the desk was probably thinking, and most people watching were thinking, is that Endpoint is going to be coming off that last series against Furia on a low. Meanwhile, the General NRG had a sweep against Renegades. They're going to be coming in warmed up, riding the high, and that has not been the case. Endpoint has been taking it to NRG. It looks like it's going to be a shutout, and honestly, Johnny, that last play from CeX, it looked like Endpoint was playing with their food.
They knew it was over. They know it's over now. Celebratory goal for Relating Wave makes it 5. What a performance from Endpoint in game one. We didn't really see a lot of NRG, and this is similar to NRG's games against BDS at the Fall Major. We didn't really get to see them play. They're just stuck in defense, or they're getting challenged before they can make any of their big plays. So they might actually be able to produce some offense later on in this series if they can just find a way to break out of that final third that Endpoint have got them stuck in at the moment.
And we've seen them a couple times, Johnny, when they're trying to break out of that final third. They just can't get that quality touch to kickstart the counterattack. We saw a few times Justin flailing around in the air, not able to get control of the ball and get a hard clear out to someone who's waiting on the wall or in the midfield. They've been stuck in their net. The General NRG has not been able to get anything going whatsoever.
Yeah, they've got to try and just get out of this final third. You know, their 50-50 game and the physical game and things that NRG are starting to improve at. They, realize that these are things that are so valuable these days. But I really think Endpoint have just faked them out so many times in this matchup with their challenges. They're keeping NRG guessing. But you've got to just give Endpoint praise, because to bounce back from a loss against Furia, they've just seen their first place shot in this group disappear. And now they're able to take down NRG 5-0 in game one. I mean, that is a rebound if I've ever seen one.
And coming into this matchup, CeX and Justin up there on scoring didn't have that much in the books to really build up a stats base, but both of them the leading scorers on their team. And you're looking at how that dynamic has played out. Well, CeX had a hat trick in this first game, and that shot where he came off the back wall from NRG and just managed to weave that one in. It seems like that might be...
Okay, there we go. They're back. NRG, they were only watched for one game. That's a pretty shocking kickoff for Endpoint. They've gone for a close cheat, and they do not have goal coverage. If you're going to cheat this close, if you're going to go for a dead ball kickoff, you have to cover your goal, or you're going to just concede every once in a while. I guess Endpoint have accepted that fact, and they will maybe live to suffer the consequences. Let's see what NRG can do with a 1-0 lead.
We saw Garrett able to bounce that over, setting up a shot. There's the demo, and Garrett will get the second goal. 2 quick ones, 12 seconds is all it took. And this time, NRG using a demo, and Justin the one making the play happen.
As NRG are doing things different. You know, back in the day, we might have just seen Justin peel away to the far post, become a passing option there, give Garrett the option between passing or shooting. But now he just thinks, well, actually, I'm just going to demo the goalkeeper, because that's every time that's going to work. You don't even give the other team a chance to intercept. So fantastic play by Justin. Garrett scoring the second goal, like you mentioned, extremely quickly in this game. Just as fast as we saw Endpoint bouncing back from defeat earlier. Now it's NRG.
Yeah, we have seen the scoring prowess from Endpoint in game one. And CeX in game two has a beautiful response. This one, upper 90, unblockable.
That was perfection from CeX in the placement, and he didn't hold back with the power either. He's not just looking to put that on target quickly. Also accurately, NRG still leading, but are they going a bit too aggressively here? We saw the demo coming in for Squishy there. Justin was also pressing forward. This is, I think, new territory for NRG, trying to play more aggressively. They can do it well. But communication is key when you're doing this. If everybody goes for an aggressive play at the same point, you are going to concede open nets. That's why all of the historical aggressive teams have made a name for themselves as conceding random long shots every now and then. NRG don't want to go down that road.
Garrett poking that up. We saw Endpoint trap NRG in their own half most of game one, and it looks like they're gearing up to do the same. Corner pass. Seiko flip reset, trying to block the clear angle from Squishy. Relating wave with the touch. Seiko will get a hit to the corner and the boost steal. Seiko taking the space. Finally, somebody challenges, and Garrett is able to clear it wide, but relating wave's there and bounces it back up to Seiko. Seiko, backboard pass. Relating wave hits it to the corner, an ambitious shot, and there was a window.
That's definitely a real chance for Endpoint to score. They're back in that final third again. NRG were stuck in this position for pretty much the entirety of game one. Got to find a way to get out of here, whether it's 50-50s, whether it's defensive passing, whether it's dribbling, or just getting that lineup for the big hard clear. None of those things coming through just yet, but Seiko will with a second goal for Endpoint. Mind game, and then the 1v3 play with a double dunk on the goal line. Seiko going next level against NRG.
It's so many things to love about that play. That one surely has to get broken down later. But you said it, the patience on the flip reset. But not only that, being able to get the hit into the 50. Seiko had that planned out, executed it lovely, or brilliantly, and it was such a lovely play to watch.
And that's why you've got to just make sure, if you're the first challenge coming in from NRG, you've got to hit the ball. You can't give Seiko the free mind game there, because he'll still have control. He's not going to need to really force himself. Oh, look at that for control from Seiko. Intercepting, and now offloading to relating wave. It's
still
half
dangerous.
of a clear, not far enough. Seiko's there to score it. It was just not safe after the attempted save from Justin. Relating wave just forcing that bad save gave Seiko the opener.
And like you said, forcing that bad save. If that ball is any lower, Justin's going to have an easy clear to the corner. But it all started again when Seiko had that control off his own backboard.
That's sixth goal for Seiko in just 2 games after scoring none against Furia. He has absolutely found a way to turn this one around. Endpoint have brought the best out of him, and he has risen to the occasion. NRG led by 2 at the start of the game. Now they trail by 1. It's all going wrong for them in Group B.
Still time left, but Johnny, you're right. Things going wrong. And really what's been going wrong for him was having to play Seiko. Seiko has been out of this world.
It is a problem when Seiko's playing well. He's not defendable, but NRG have a chance here to counter. Garrett with 1 demo. He's going to look to run onto the play, gets it into the middle. Relating wave has to send it to his own crossbar, but he does well enough. It wasn't safe by location, but it was safe because it was close enough to a teammate to follow up on.
It's better than what was going to happen originally, and he just had faith in his teammates that they would clean up whatever mess was created, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And a mess starting to happen in front of NRG's net. Seiko, another 50. Justin also going. That's a double commit. Metza wasn't able to make contact on that pre-flip. The demo on Garrett going to open up some space. Seiko with boost. Worst nightmare for NRG. Another pass to the middle. It's still bouncing. Now a counterattack chance, but you saw NRG was so tensed up on defense from Seiko taking that ball airborne. They weren't able to start that counter.
You see the problem when you go against Seiko is that time there was an early challenge directly on the ball, so Seiko just moved the ball out of the way. Oh, what a pass though! Garrett scores it! NRG are back in the game after being stuck in defense for so long. All it took was one chance, Squishy on the infield, Garrett with a finish.
Wow, and the speed of that pass was necessary. That was in front of the defense, close enough to try to bait the defenders out. They actually did do a good job of waiting, but Garrett was able to slot that one far post. That is a great response from NRG, and they're back in it. And this does feel like a must-win game, even though we're only in game 2. With a dominating performance from Endpoint in game 1, NRG need to stabilize. Under 30 seconds left, and we're tied.
That's a good pass, but Seiko's all over it. He's not going to get back to the ball again, though. Garrett just goes route one, backboard. Defended well by Relating Wave.
Another good touch.
These little passes in defense for Endpoint helping them break free from NRG pressure. That's something NRG have struggled to implement themselves. They've got to do it all over again as we get to the final few seconds of the game.
Relating Wave looking for somebody in the middle, and this ball will stay airborne. Justin opting to just hit that into Metza and go into overtime. Golden goal. Endpoint has seemed like the better team so far, and now a chance to end it. Seiko happy to just hit that ball to the corner and get the boost steal. Demo, numbers advantage for NRG. A catch from Garrett, low boost, will flick it past Metza. Seiko controlling it, boosting into it, and getting it by Squishy.
At least Squishy got a touch on to Seiko though, so he can't get back to the ball, even though it would have taken a lot of boost to do so. Justin looking for Garrett, who pre-jumps the pass, which does not connect. Thought about going for a bump there, Endpoint. Side against it. NRG have to be careful here. Endpoint looking to set up counter-attacking passes. They're spreading out in defense. They're giving those options. NRG, of course, need to be here, though. They have to take those risks if they're going to get these goals. Now it's going to be a winner, surely. No, it's going to be a save from Garrett. Boost is not looking good for NRG, but another one spawns, and they're under control.
Wow, that was a scary moment for NRG. Endpoint almost ending it. Relating Wave running out of boost. Had a shot on target, and it was barely saved. We just passed that first minute of overtime. Endpoint still having some good looks. NRG, we saw that pre-jump pass attempt, and now numbers advantage. Seiko on the dribble, the bump from Metza, the shot is good! And Seiko continues to be a problem for NRG.
Yeah, communication breakdown from NRG. Squishy's trying to pass to Garrett there, but Garrett's all the way back in defense. He's nowhere near close enough to even challenge the 2v1 coming towards him, and Endpoint make it work. Seiko on the scoring sheet again. He is absolutely on fire at the worst possible time for NRG. You know, NRG got me wondering, well, where was this Endpoint against Furia? Why couldn't you beat Furia and give us a chance to first place?
Where was this Seiko against Furia? But really, all of Endpoint having some really key moments. You even saw defensively huge play from Relating Wave. He had a very difficult backboard read. It was just him. Got the backboard read, but not only got the backboard read, also beat Squishy to that follow-up ball. And that was... this was an incredibly tight game where plays like that can make all the difference. And
especially on LAN with the extra pressure, those things they can be missed. And I like the decision by Garrett to just go for the simple backboard clear because there was a challenge coming towards him. He doesn't want to air dribble straight into it, just hit it to the backboard. Maybe off chance Relating Wave misses it. Probably not. You're not going to get a miss out there from anyone at this LAN. But anyone can miss it. No one should miss it, but anyone can. And that was, of course, a chance for NRG that didn't really risk much. Endpoint just proven to be the team who are fighting back on today after losing to Furia. They show up, beat NRG 5-0, then they're down 2-0 early. They come back from that as well. Mentality definitely back in a good spot for Endpoint.
No doubt about it. Quick recovery coming off that loss from Furia. And it has been an insane series for Seiko. Another shot will get a double commit. Rebound opportunity will get saved aside. But we've seen a few instances where Endpoint's well-placed shot has been blocked, but the rebound has been juicy and been able to be put in by Endpoint. Nice deflection.
Oh, wow.
Seiko, patient, does get the save. A demo. Squishy will turn on this ball as well.
Well, we're watching two teams play who have both lost to Furia and beaten Renegades. Renegades on the B stream are beating Furia. So there's even more drama in Group B. We thought it was going to be a simple play for second and third place between Endpoint and NRG, but Renegades trying to force a tiebreaker with whoever loses this match at the moment. And the winner of this, little do they know, they are actually in with a shot of winning the group because Furia have, at the moment, got a lot to do against Renegades.
And this is why you love LAN. Anything can happen.
Something about that matchup. CJ just has Card's number, despite calling him King instead of Card.
Now we got to focus on Endpoint and NRG. The team's hoping to be in that situation for a tiebreaker to take the group. And so far, it seems like it's going to be Endpoint with how well they've been playing NRG had a chance in overtime, but Seiko has been too good. We see more demos coming out from NRG. We saw it last game as well. Justin demoed on the goal line to open up that first goal for Garrett. Saw more aggression come out, but it hasn't quite paid off.
That was a lovely pass attempt infield. Seiko too far forward to receive it. Endpoint looked threatening there after a couple of misplays from NRG, but now NRG are back on attack. And it is a much more back and forth game than the two that we've seen before. Game 1, entirely Endpoint pressure. Game 2, Endpoint definitely found pressure for extended periods in that game. But gradually, as the series goes on, NRG are finding more consistent ways to get the ball out of defense. Here's a great one. And a demo comes through for Squishy. It's on target, surely. Justin there for the finish. 3 on an open net there for NRG.
Yeah, and we take another look at this one. So Garrett going for it. It looks like Garrett just didn't flip into it. Justin does get there to clean up. That was not the prettiest of plays.
Yeah.
But you're seeing more demos come out from NRG, and that was clearly something that they made a point to adjust. We didn't see much of it at all in Game 1, Game 2. We saw more of it now in Game 3. They're continuing it, and it has paid off again. See if they can hold on to the lead, but now you're seeing Seiko get a demo back on Garrett G.
NRG just need to try not give away any cheap goals. They've got their attack going, they've got their demo goal. Now, no need to make any more overextensions, because this is, like you said, something that they're just working into their play style, which is usually a lot more about the rotation, a lot more about the passing and the outplays. Well, now that they've got it to work, no point in risking that again. I think they're just going to play this one out in their more normal and usual style, giving each other space to play with. That's not to say that we're not going to see more goal attempts from NRG. They're just going to try and go for any kind of play that doesn't leave them out of the game.
That's a nice pre-flip pass from Justin. Backboard is open. Garrett will miss the shot. Rebound, a chance, and it's going to be cleared out, but that was a scoring chance for Garrett. Normally, he would hit those.
Really good challenge by Garrett G. And he's going to go all the way with no boost and score for NRG again. But this is all about the challenge in defense. He's realized that, Seiko is going for a lot of mind games here. It's about time we just flip into the ball, stop him from going for fakes all the time. And not only that, Garrett showing you how to shoot with no boost as well. 2-0 NRG.
It's a little nudge on that ball as well to set up that shot far post. And Johnny, if NRG hopes to have more success, they're going to have to continue to shut down Seiko and not give him space, because we've seen how creative he can be with even just a little bit of space.
And that's the name of the game for NRG. They give each other space so that they don't double commit for things, so they can easily pass to each other, make those team plays. But the difficult part is doing that without giving a player like Seiko all the space in the world as well. They've done an exceptional job with it in Game 3. This is maybe the start of that comeback for NRG. A comeback that has actually just gained equity again. Renegades now lead 2-0 in games against Furia. So this could be the winner of this in a tiebreak against Furia tomorrow to win the entire group. NRG thought that world was done. Apparently not. CJ and the gang have other ideas.
I wish we could watch that and cast at the same time, because I just need to know what's going on over there.
Squishy. Nice infield fling. Seiko will shut it down, and the final seconds will tick away. The general NRG, they found the response. They get the first game, but it's a long road to reverse sweep.
Well, they really shut down Endpoint's tricks a lot more in this game. They've just gone for the ball more. They're not going for big dunks, big interceptions, big reads. They're just going for the ball because they've realized, well, Seiko's mind gaming us so consistently. What do you do against mind games? You ball chase. That's why mind games never work against low-rated players, because all they see is the ball. They don't see your mind games. But it works. It works at the very, very high level because everybody's trying to read each other. Everybody's trying to predict the touches, and NRG not really relying too much on predictions, just going for the ball here, letting their mechanics do the talking.
Yeah, and it's been pretty high scoring in terms of what Endpoint's been able to put on the board. So a shutout here for the general NRG is going to be huge for their mentality, being able to get this win, avoid being swept, which would be, I mean, it's not an upset if Endpoint wins, but it's pretty shocking if Endpoint wins in a sweep with how well that they were playing. And it seemed like that might be the case, but we saw NRG cling to life. It wasn't the prettiest of NRG games that you've seen them play either, but they found the way to win. They are making the adjustments.
And it's good to see NRG fighting back like that. They're trying to have some fun with this event, just like they did at the end of the Fall Major. They realized that brought out the best play from them. And obviously, when you're losing like this, it's very hard to have fun. When you're losing to Furia, a team that nobody expected them to lose to, and now they're down against Endpoint, these are tough positions to be able to have fun. So NRG have to really have just a bulletproof mentality here. They're doing things that other NRGs in the past wouldn't have done. They're accepting the fact that actually we need to diversify our attack a little bit. We're trying to play too cleanly. We need to just start going for direct challenges to Seiko. And if he gets the outplay, he gets the outplay. But whatever you do, don't let him fake you.
And it's that type of composure that experience can bring, being able to make those adjustments in series that have been very difficult. And we're seeing that in a long shot attempt. Metza will be able to get back in time. And we're seeing more demos. Garrett taking out Relating Wave. Down, nice drop pass to Seiko. Seiko will get a good bounce. And now a bounce shot goes in. That was a bit surprising that one was able to find the back of the net as we take another look at this replay.
My goodness, that has to just be either a miscommunication of epic proportions or a misread on a bounce, because why would you let the ball bounce like this? Garrett just leaves it, Squishy leaves it, free shot, and it goes in. You've got to think that somebody was calling for someone else to go for that, and then that person's also calling for someone else to go for it. That just looked ridiculous. NRG completely dropped the ball, give Endpoint a freebie.
And that has to hurt. The series has been tight the last game. NRG had to fight for those goals, and they gave one away here. So we'll see if the general NRG can bounce back, or if this will finally be where Endpoint closes out the series.
And my goodness, is this going to be huge for Endpoint if they can just get this game won. NRG are not done yet. Justin snipes the bottom corner on an infield pass. Relating Wave looks to the ceiling, thinking, how have we let them score on another infield? It's happening again and again. They're just not covering it, preferring to cover the backboard and the goal. Endpoint, you got to start looking for that infield pass.
Yeah, it's certainly, you saw, like you said, Metza on the back wall, hoping that Seiko would not let that ball come into the middle. Metza didn't want to jump too early, but when you don't jump early, you give so much.
Oh, rebound, and nobody makes contact, and that won't be a goal. NRG will retain possession.
What?
But I wish we had more angles on that one, Johnny.
I can't believe that was the outcome of this situation. There was such a well-worked demo, and then even a pass into the middle, but somehow Endpoint have escaped that situation without conceding. Now Relating Wave's missed in the back corner. Endpoint's starting to make mistakes that we didn't see from them earlier on in the match. I wonder if they found out that this is, in fact, for a chance to win the group, and now pressure's on. They're not just playing for seeding, because Renegades are beating Fury in Game 3 as well. It's going to be a sweep over in the B stream.
Somebody's whispering the info in their ears.
I don't know what it is about Renegades playing Fury, but they've got their number. 3-0 in the Fall Major, 3-0 today. They're 3-0 here, though, against NRG.
Did you get any confirmation on that series score?
Not over yet. Not over yet. It's still going in Game 3.
Oh,
wow.
The rebound will get knocked aside as well. The flip reset led to a rebound, but could not find that goal. Excellent defense from NRG. It was a great shot as well. And now another miss on the backboard from Seiko. You can see Relating Wave diving in. We're starting to see more mistakes out of Endpoint.
Yeah. That save, though, unbelievable from NRG, because not only was it on target, it also had a really, really strong hitbox coming behind it that you've got to muscle off the ball. NRG have done that. Like you mentioned, another miss coming through at the other end. Seiko missing a half volley on the back wall. He went for a very precise touch and he misses. So are they going to start going for more easy to execute mechanics? Probably not, because it's Seiko.
I mean, if you've learned anything from Furia as well, you just go for the best play possible, no matter what.
Yeah.
Justin with a miss there, perhaps leaving it for Garrett. That was bold if the case. Squishy, nice flip following it up. You can see Metza didn't make contact. It's a tip. Relating Wave will get a piece of that ball, but it has been tough. But CeX will get the ball in the middle of the field.
Big
Bumped
play.
out of the play from Squishy, who says, I'm not even looking at the ball. I just got to take him out to make sure this play doesn't happen.
Well, brilliant by Squishy. He just goes as quickly as possible before CeX can do too much damage. And he was going, I think, for the ball, but CeX moves it. And of course, by moving the ball, he's put himself right where the ball was. Now here's Garrett with the double. It's defended by Relating Wave. Into the final 35 seconds of the game. NRG, every single game that has gone by, I've seen more of the blue end, more of the Endpoint goal. And this is by far the game where Endpoint have looked the least consistent.
We even saw Relating Wave getting hung up on the post on that ball, made him slow to the challenge, but now CeX, airborne, will get shut down by Garrett G. The defense from NRG has been their saving grace.
What a first touch by CeX to give himself a one-on-one with Garrett, who stood strong in the way of him. CeX struggling to get those goals, which came so easy earlier in the series. Justin might have one, defended on the goal line. Nice try there by Justin to steal the game. Send us to game 5. It's going to be overtime. Still, NRG clinging on to that chance of a comeback.
Garrett getting jostled off the ball from CeX. And CeX was able to still be in control and got that flick pass.
Crazy control by CeX, even though we're seeing a couple of defensive missteps for Endpoint. His control in offense has been absolutely impeccable. I mean, how on earth do you defend this guy? You can't cover every option. Well, not with one player at least. We have confirmation. Renegades have swept Furia. Winner of this series. Winner of this series plays Furia tomorrow in a tiebreak for first place. Loser will play Renegades for a tiebreak break in third. Neither team, neither NRG or Endpoint are in the group yet. They could still finish last. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Here's Squishy now, passing well to Garrett G. And we will decide who gets to play Furia tomorrow for that top spot in game 5.
Oh, this play, Squishy threatening the double. You saw the defense frozen in a nice finish from Garrett G. That was not a gimme. You saw the defenders in net, and NRG cling to life. And it's unbelievable the turn of events that we have seen in this group.
Crazy.
I was thinking that this was Furia locking it down.
Yep.
This one's for second and third. Renegades is going home.
Renegades
or
sweep
0-3.
I have to see this. I mean, I'm being told that that's happened, and I've got to watch it back later. Because how have Renegades managed this again? I don't understand how they're winning against Furia, especially this weekend. But what is going on against an Endpoint NRG as well? They found themselves in a similar situation. So we're 2 rematches in Group B, and we're on track for the exact same results in both. That's only, of course, if Endpoint do win Game 5. I'm sure NRG would like to change their destiny on that one.
Oh my, this is just fun to watch. Honestly, sometimes when it gets chaotic like this, all you can do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And it has been a show all around. Group B entertaining us nonstop. And now we've got a game 5 on the horizon. NRG, Endpoint, who came out so hot. CeX looked unbelievable. It looked like he was going to be the difference. But NRG found a way to battle back.
Well, we're going to go down to game 5 momentarily. NRG were 2 down. Now they're tied. But let's get into it in just a moment. It's on Champions Field. I can't wait to get into it, James. I'm jumping the gun. We've actually got a pause, but we'll get more to that. We'll get onto that in just a second. I wonder what is going through Endpoint's minds in a moment like this. It was going right all the time. Here we go. Sponsored by Lamborghini. It is game 5 on Champions Field. NRG versus Endpoint. Winner plays Furia tomorrow to top the group, and the loser will have to go through Renegades just to not finish last.
Oh, man. You couldn't have asked for more. This is critically important. Johnny, we've seen it in so many regional events, how valuable winning the group is in this format. It is such a massive advantage. And so for that to be a possibility for whoever wins this game, that can't be understated how critical that is for their entire major tournament.
Oh, big chance early for Endpoint. Couple of them actually, but NRG will be glad to see the ball go wide. You know, full credit to NRG in turning the matchup around. Like you mentioned, CeX was dominating in games 1 and 2, and NRG just started challenging him earlier. They started challenging him more directly, and that really limited what CeX's been able to do. Even that is still a scary CeX to go up against, as we saw at the end of the last game. Still able to produce chances, but they're coming less frequently because of NRG's defense.
Adjustments from NRG. We've seen that from them in the North American region. They've been in tight situations before, but they have a deep toolkit. They have a lot of different play styles that they can revert to if needed. We even saw that switch up after game one, incorporating more demos, not looking for as many solo plays or infield passing play attempts. They have been relying quite heavily on the demos and their defense.
It's good speed by Metsonoris to get back to his own pass. There's a double commit from NRG. Pop into the middle by Seiko. It's going to be contested ball. Squishy actually gets control of it. This is huge for NRG. Out of defense and straight into attack. Air dribble by Squishy. No flip to work with. Seiko knew that. Delayed the challenge. And still the boost steal comes through now. NRG, can they do anything with this pressure? Looking like boost management for Endpoint is actually pretty good despite these steals.
And then that's so true, Johnny. We just saw Squishy steal multiple 100 boosts, and still Endpoint able to stay calm, conserve their own boost, and get this counterattack. But Squishy, oh man, almost a deflection in front of net.
It's interesting. I thought he was going to go for the bump. We saw Arsenal score, well, it was Rettel's goal, but Arsenal really the one who made it happen by bumping Appjack out of the sky against Dignitas. Looked like Seiko was going for something similar. He instead goes for the almost impossible redirect and nearly made it happen. Justin awkwardly clears, but does recover. Look at the recovery of Justin to somehow get back up to this ball.
And he's hovering behind it, shadowing it, daring somebody to come challenge. A regroup from NRG. And that 50 will send it to the corner. Nice touch from Squishy, but Relating Wave was there to cut off that shot on net. Metza tipping past one. Seiko with the catch, couldn't dribble it past Squishy, and that second touch from Squishy, now a center ball. Excellent breakout there from Squishy.
And notice again, how do you challenge Seiko? Hit the ball. Don't fall for his tricks. He was going for another mind game there. Squishy not falling for it. Still tied, but if NRG could force this reverse sweep, it will be their first best of 5 reverse sweep of the season. Endpoint's first reverse sweep loss of the season, and the 6th all time for an RLCS LAN. Lots of stats being added to here. Such a similar story to when the last time these two teams met. Absolute nail-biter game 5. That one ended with NRG squandering a game-winning chance, and then Endpoint getting one at the other end immediately.
Will we see history repeat itself? We are closing in on the final minute of gameplay, still scoreless. Squishy staying behind the ball, pinch out to the middle. Relating Wave will hit it up the side. Garrett taking time, finally does hit it downfield. Relating Wave sending it back. Garrett got the mid boost, a shot. You could see it, surprise Squishy. The pace starting to pick up for Endpoint.
Seiko's been quiet, but Endpoint have looked more consistent across the board. Both teams producing the goods in game 5 with less than a minute to go now. Justin with a little bit of boost to work with, trying to get it over the top of Metza, unable to do so. Is still able to knock it on as he recovers back towards the ball. Just 45 seconds left, still scoreless.
Huge play here for Justin. He's got time, needs to buy some for his teammates as well. Seiko, the touch.
Oh my.
Does he recover? It's a rebound. Metza, the deflection from Seiko! How do you work that angle out?
Just when he thought Seiko's got the double, he leaves it for Metza, who passes it back to Seiko. Who goes for the pass in this position? That is absurd from Metsonoris.
And how do you hit that shot if you're Seiko?
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Oh my goodness. A terrible kickoff for NRG will result in a second goal. That sort of revenge for earlier. NRG did the same thing. Both teams going for such a close streak. Both teams going for a dead ball kickoff. This time the kickoff is stronger for Endpoint. And the 1v1 play comes through. Only 29 seconds for NRG to come back from 2 goals down.
And the wheels falling off for NRG in the final moments. Still a chance, but the defense there from Metza. It answers the call.
Infield continues to be a good option, but that one's a bit too high. So Justin, despite being in position, couldn't get up for it. And that needed to be a goal for NRG. Time's ticking away with 2 goals to get. It looks like it's just not going to happen, James.
This was a crazy series. The group turning out to be more entertaining than you expected. Will we see one more goal? No, we won't. But Endpoint
take NRG down in 5 and prevent the reverse sweep.
Do you think they know that they actually have a shot to win this? Tomorrow they will play Furia to take that top spot. Can they get revenge? Furia just beat them today. If Endpoint can beat them tomorrow, they'll get #1 seed from this group. And that's the only way that you can guarantee top 6. It's the only way coming out of groups that you can guarantee that you're going to play in front of a crowd on the last 2 days of this competition. That's what everybody wants. And unfortunately for NRG, it's not what they're going to get. They've got to fight for 3rd place tomorrow against Renegades. Then they've got to get through that lower bracket round 1 before they have a chance to play before the crowd.
It leaves me speechless. I was so much expecting this to be a routine series for that 2nd, 3rd spot.
Yeah.
But now this is NRG could go home. They could be done tomorrow.
They have to beat Renegades, who just 3-0'd Furia. So Renegades not happy with their losses to Endpoint and to NRG, of course, tweeting out that they just couldn't get it together in the matchups that mattered most. And then when it really mattered most, when they're fighting for their lives, they produce their best performance. So I wouldn't write them off. NRG really have to take them seriously, because if a team can sweep Furia, they're definitely a threat. And that's a best of 5 for your life in the competition. Nobody thought NRG would have to do this again after they've already done it, what, twice in the fall major? Now they're back at the same position.
Johnny, just thinking about the pressure, for NRG, they've had rough starts before, even in the Swiss stage, in the international, or the last fall major. They had struggled so much.
Yeah.
They showed some grit in this series, but nothing is given. And with NRG having to fight for their very life against Renegades, even going into that series, it's all upside for Renegades. Coming into this, they were the underdog in this group. It's been a very tough group to play in.
Yeah.
And so they're going in tomorrow with nothing to lose.
Yeah, Renegades, they must have already thought, well, let's just give it a go. Fury have beaten Endpoint, they've beaten NRG, 2 teams we've lost to. Let's just try. Let's just give it a go and see what happens. And they sweep them. So they've really just gone from the valley to the mountaintop now, and they've been given an opportunity to play at NRG for a shot, well, to just get into lower bracket round 1. I mean, what they're fighting for here is not what anybody wants to really, where anybody wants to be, but Renegades are going to be much happier. They kind of expected to have to fight for a 3rd place coming into this group. It's not what NRG expected. But I wonder if Endpoint were expected to be able to play Furia tomorrow. Let's head over to Roll This and find out.
I'm here, thank you, Johnny, with the boys. The boys in purple? Purple? Okay, purple. Endpoint, Seiko, Metza. How you guys feeling, man? That was a fantastic series, Seiko. Let me know what you think, man.
I'm really happy because I don't play really good against Furia, but I play really good against NRG, so I'm happy. And Furia lost against Renegade, so we have to play tiebreaker, so that's cool.
If that ain't a fact, hey, Metza, let me know what you feeling.
Relief, I think. When it gets to those Game 5 situations, a lot of stress is around, but like when it gets released, the stress at the end of the game, it's like no feeling.
Nah, I felt that completely. All right, man, back and forth series. I know, I hear the hype. Now, I think you guys bounced back from your previous day. It was a rough loss, but Renegades defeated Furia. Are you ready for a rematch?
Of course. See you in the pitch, Furia.
Oh, yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. Ready for a rematch?
Yeah, obviously, when we get to play them again, I think it's such a relief that we actually lost the first one, because now we're the underdogs going up against them. So, exciting match for sure.
100%. Hey, Seiko, I got a question for you, bro. Is this game like free play to you, or like, because it's flip reset after flip reset, musty after musty? Nobody knows what you're going to do next. Is it free play?
Not really. I just try my best.
Just try your best. And that's all we ask. Continue to try your best, because like it really is the best, all right? Metza, known for your leadership, your veterancy. Come on, man. When you guys are going down, what do you say to bring your team back?
I say some swear words and then let's go. This is our game now, okay? Our game.
Yo, come on, man. That's exactly what you need to do. You feel me? All right, so listen, man. Whew. How crucial was this win for your confidence moving forward? You guys are going to play in SoFi Stadium, the YouTube theater. How crucial was this win for you guys?
I don't understand.
It was very crucial. I don't think we are confirmed at the YouTube theater, but whatever. But like, definitely very important, and like if we went into the lower tiebreaker against Renegades, that would be so nerve-wracking for you to play for your tournament live. So I'm very happy for this, even though we didn't know exactly how the other game went. But yeah, this turns out perfectly for us, for sure.
All right, man. Hey, listen. Hopefully you guys continue to build on this momentum. I love seeing you guys play, exciting gameplay. And more exciting gameplay coming your way after this break.